Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans. We've made it to the bracket round. We're at the top 16 of the 2019 Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament. Tonight, we've got two good friends ready to duke it out for a chance to take down the undefeated Crab Cakes in the Elite Eight. We have the Dragon Slayer Willcleosis. We have LordFizzlebeef. This is game one of the best of three. It's live right here, right now, on Speed Gaming 2. I'm Gouda632. Tracking is the commentary MVP, Danny3883. And with me in the booth is the Final Fantasy Randomizer leader, the legend himself, Zardia. Zar, what can you tell us about the theme of this tournament and what it means for our players' parties?
Good evening all, and welcome to Speed Gaming. For this evening, we are looking at a party with a forced fighter. There is a random force class, which in this instance appears to have been rolled to the thief. And we also have a banned black mage. There will be no black mages in this first round.
Zar, a little bit about our runners. LordFizzlebeef has wanted Will and has begged for this publicly for weeks. Fizzle has never beaten Will in Final Fantasy Randomizer. He's looking to change that tonight. It all started last year. Spring Tournament Week 5. A 2-2 Willcleosis was paired up against a 3-1 LordFizzlebeef. Fizzle was the heavy favorite. He also had a big lead going into Topher. The runners' perspectives on this exact race, because LordFizzlebeef was a Shakespearean tragedy. He was a comedy of errors leading to a loss. Willcleosis, he was the David in the David and Goliath match, the underdog. He came from behind, and he dragged LordFizzlebeef with him into the 3-2 play-in race. Seed was first planted in Fizzlebeef's head. He's never forgotten that race. Tonight, he wants his revenge. 2018 co-op match. Falconic and Will, the Game Changers, versus LordFizzlebeef, and as he put it, the nearest hedge pig. A critical error in strategy caused him a chaos wipe. Then Falconic swooped in as a third person to chaos, won the match for the Game Changers. The seed sprouted into a tree of jealousy and regret for LordFizzlebeef. But this isn't a Roger Clemens I'm in your head story. No, this is a Michael Jordan getting cut from the team story. Fizzle's trained harder, played more, and gotten better, but so is Will. LordFizzlebeef is ready to meet him on the Final Fantasy Randomizer battlefield to fix past mistakes. The Red Hot Dragon Slayer has different plans for this series of matches. He's ready to continue ripping through all the Final Fantasy Randomizer players until he gets his hands on the title of 2019 Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament Champion. Who's going to win? Will Willcleosis stop LordFizzlebeef from his destiny? Dragon Slayer reach the pinnacle and take the title. Stay tuned, everybody. This match is going to be fantastic. Zar, what's changed from the to the bracket rounds?
One of the most substantial changes is that we are now looking at an incentivized Marsh cave that is key locked. And it's come into play in many of the races so far. I think actually all of them have ended up with that dig happening. And it can be a problem, as Marsh Cave is already bad enough. And granted, you don't have to dig it early usually, but more often than not, you're going to have to come back to this Marsh Cave. We are also looking at a few slight differences. We of course have the extra random force within the party. Our scale is at enemy stats 230 to 43%. Our boss threshold is at 45 to 220%. This is without any clamps. And I believe we have, as per the popular demand, extended open progression along with Zozo Melman, meaning these runners can encounter trouble if they come into Melman. We are going to get a countdown started here, and these runners are going to be let loose. I like the red mage's play here. I think this is a really good play. It's your best chance early of getting the magic you need and the versatility of the red mage in Randomizer is nearly limitless.
Agrees are. This is... And they're both taking the same party, so this should be very interesting. Nobody's going to have the advantage, nobody's going to have the disadvantage. And as you can see from FizzleBeef's stream, the thief is already named dead. The way we're going into white magic, we see life 2 in the second slot, heal 3 in the third or in the fourth slot. We got a lit 2 and a fire 3. And toast pretty quick. What do you think, Czar?
This is a really good spell selection. You have AoE, you have ability to take out undead quickly. If things get nasty, those are spells that can easily result in a ton of gold and experience at POP, should it come to that.
Oh no, but we saw $61,000 or gold bracelets. That is not going to be happening anytime soon.
I think
got some ambush hints.
I think these runners will be hoping to find a gold bracelet before they have to actually buy one.
I agree 100%. And Will, as is standard, taking an imp fight, getting those levels up. Just testing out the waters on this encounter table. Taking the credits right away. I'm sure he's going to go back and save right after this. Yep, there he goes. Not have to see those again if he wipes. Heal helmet. Hopefully that is a little bit of money for FizzleBeef in the early game. Got more imps, spiders. Still opting not to take a second imp fight. Hoping that this thief can do his job and run away, but it doesn't look like that's happening yet with a dead fighter over on LordFizzlebeef's side. Opal shield and a cabin. We have some items that we can sell as soon as we get back to Corneria today. Taking a fire 3 to the face for 130. That's what he's taking. And FizzleBeef, first one to get the princess, first one to save her. We won the game, right? No, the king's giving us a ship, and the princess is giving us a key. Oh man, Czar, what do you think about that?
There's a lot of chests on the table now, and this is very early, so I think we will be seeing those chests being claimed as Trance comes out with the spiders. But Fire 3 takes care of it for Willcleosis. That's fortunate for him.
Getting our first Corneria check, some money, a house, some more money. And an iron staff. Not a whole lot, just a little bit of early game money in the Corneria chest, but with this ship, that opens up pretty much the entire world to these runners, and with 3 loose, that puts those 3 loose at potentially a lot of different places.
I think we're going to see some efficient key routing right now with the chests, possibly even into Marsh, as we now have access to the key locked item in there as well.
Thinking Dwarf Cave first, and then down to Elfland Castle, and then down to Marsh. I think that's the play. You think they'll head over to Provoca right away and see what that town is?
I would actually begin by sailing north to Matoya's Cave, quick check there, and then over to Provoca, see what town it is. The only reason to prioritize towns at this point would be that Warp. If you find Warp, level 2, or Exit, you might be able to get out of Marsh Cave very quickly instead of having to slog it out.
Absolutely, and with the lich locked sages, that makes the rod finding a big priority as well.
Heal helmet sold for about 12k, so some good gold there.
There you go. I didn't see if FizzleBeef sold. Nope, he still has that opal shield. He's holding on to that. Really cheap cabins, actually. 68 gold for cabins, but 523 for soft potions. Yeah, they'll probably just grab about 3 or 4 of those for the overworld, just in case. And FizzleBeef is going over to check Provoca right away to see what that town is. Really, really long sail here without an encounter. Will is still back in Corneria buying stuff. FizzleBeef is taking an early lead. But an early lead.
We discovered Melmond, so this could be a dangerous place. Silver bracelets, chain armor. That'll help with some absorb for sure.
Cheap chain armor. That's gonna be good for those. At least a little bit of absorb on those red mages. But there it is. There's the Zozo Melmans. We can't even get an item from these pirates.
Yar. They must be Earth pirates.
Staking a claim to Melmond. Tier 3 gets rid of them real quick. And there's another level. Will almost forgot he had the ship, but he gets in it right away, and Will's doing your play, Czar. He's going straight up to Matoya to check those 3 chests.
Attaboy, Will. Keep Vorpal, represent.
I'm surprised he didn't drop a cabin there, though, just in case a quick reset is needed. Could have been on the ship right away instead of having to leave Corneria and come all the way back down.
Oh no, there's a stone touch in effect.
Oh no! And those specters and geists are all over the place. Down in Marsh Cave, and I believe also in Ice Cave. Those 500 and some gold soft potions are gonna come into effect here pretty quickly. A lot of money over in Matoya's cave. Is leaving his people stoned.
I don't believe he
He's
has
gonna
any
do
sauce at this point. They're a little pricey.
They were real pricey. What are the wolves and Gerwolves gonna give us today? It looks like just really punchy. I know, Zara, in the early game, I love taking this fight because it's actually a pretty good amount of XP from the enemies you're getting, and a Fire 3 will clear them out. A Lit 2 will clear them out.
Yes, another good example is in Titan's Tunnel when you have a pack of Grey Wolves. You get quite a bit more experience, quite a bit more gold. Sometimes an enemy that would seem not good on the experience or encounter table, if in great quantity, actually turns out to be quite lucrative.
Fizzlebeef, surprisingly, not prioritizing those keylock chests, and he finds Crescent Lake over in Vanilla Melmond. We have some decently cheap houses at 1,500, but is he gonna? He's not gonna go check the sages, is he, Czar?
This could be hoping for the floater, in which case it's a gamble that would pay, as we see Fade at level 6.
But we don't have early sages on.
Oh, that's correct. So I think this is more of an information play.
Okay, yeah. Thankfully, he doesn't go check the sages and get whammy down there. Will's now heading over to Provoca to find his Melmond, avoiding those desert tiles like the plague. Ending his chain armor. So far, sailing the high seas does not look like it's that dangerous, but I feel like I might have just commentary cursed Fizzlebeef here.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we haven't seen the Kazoku enemy yet.
I don't think we've seen the Odd Eyes yet either, have we?
I believe we did see some Odd Eyes. I don't think we saw anything from them, however.
Level 3 magic. Ooh, Quad X and fast. There we go.
That's a boost for your red mages. And
we got
at
Exfer and Invis 2, or as Lyra says, transfer. That's something that I didn't know until I listened to her commentary the other night. We'll be quickly picking up those Quad X's and those fasts.
One thing about the red mages, you're going to have to prioritize your magic selections a lot more carefully. You have to put a lot more scrutiny on which spells you need and which spells you want.
Agrees are. What I've tended to do, and I don't know if you've done this at all, but if I take 2 red mages, I tend to make sure that they both do a little bit of damage. Oh, and there we had it. There was the check of, you saw Professor Un hanging out with the sleeping prince, which means that we don't know where that nurse is.
They are lost and wandering out there somewhere. And yes, question in the chat about Expert. It will remove elemental and status resistances as well. It basically increases your chances of being able to hit with a spell such as Bane, such as Brack.
Here goes Will with the keylock chest. Money, money. More money. A little bit more. Oh, and the game changer is found! Willcleosis's preferred end weapon, and he's trying to equip it. He knows he can't, but he wants it. Level 5 in the dwarves.
His
And
fire is thirsty for that Vorpal.
With the nurse, hooray! Will giving us some hooray, dwarf, for finding that game changer. But we're gonna see where Bahamut is. Oh, did they go? They didn't go check where Professor Un was, did they? Or Dr. Un? He was.
I think Fizzle did check.
I missed it. If chat could help me out, who was hanging out in Melmond? Was it the nurse or was it Bahamut? Nurse. I didn't see it. Thank you, Shalmel, for letting us know. That it's the nurse. So Bahamut is vanilla, and you have to go to Melmond to turn in your herb, and you have to go to the Elfland Castle to turn in your slab. Dangu says, take those mummy fights. Yeah, it's early. You have an early Fire 3. It's also a good information dive. You're going to see mummies down in Waterfall. You're going to see them a couple different places. Tile in Northwest Castle is... Mummy in Northwest Castle can be a nice little grind tile early game.
Fizzle's taking his dive into Marsh here.
And Squint!
We know.
I didn't see who had Squint, but there's Squint down in Marsh Cave.
And the bat says no to Fizzle. What a rude bat that was.
Well, what a nothing burger up in the top of Marsh, so FizzleBeef just resets out of that. Doesn't want any of that 1,000 gold and a saber. I agree, Piercing Mountain. If we randomized every NPC, this would be a insane seed.
There would have to be a lot of sanity checks from a dev standpoint. I'm not even sure that level of NPC randomization is possible. But our devs have accomplished so much already that I cannot yet write it off either.
I agree. But the other night they were saying that there's a lot that's on the devs' plate right now. So, gonna roll out they have in the next couple of months.
Getting our first look at Lower Marsh Cave. Fizzle's gonna take the long route and check the corner chest first.
$5. He's gonna go all the way down here to this incentivized location because he's got the key. The opal bracelet. Oh, that's a really good find for armor, but it is not what he was looking for. He was looking for that floater or the canoe.
Yeah, it's absolutely nice, but not required.
2,500 gold. Oh, is Will gonna pick up lamp? There's not a lot of spell slots there. We got temperate level 4 and bracket level 4. He's picking up both of those. As Will likes to do, he's probably gonna go for one-shotting both Kraken and Tiamat. All that you want for that.
It's been a strategy that has paid off for numerous runners.
Oh yeah,
and it's not a difficult strategy to employ at all.
You have two Brat casters and a Bane sword, and next thing you know, you're casting 3 instant death spells on Tiamat and Kraken, and you've got a pretty solid shot at actually getting it done. Now, Chrono Time, the Vorpal is a really big deal because it hits like a silver sword, but it's got the crit rate of a katana. Vorpal is one of those swords where if you can get a power bonk or some temper charges on it, it is easily the best sword in the entire game.
The Vorpal has mystical powers as well.
Some say it's the God Sword, but some don't. Our favorite to win the tournament, Crab Cake, saying Massa greater than Vorpal, and there are people that are on the Massa train. My preference is if I end up with Xcal, I would also like to have Vorpal, because the end of Topher, having that Vorpal can save a lot of runs.
Fizzle is almost out of Marsh. He's had a relatively smooth dive aside from losing that fighter.
And FizzleBeef's fighter has been taking a dirt nap multiple times in this seed so far, so I'm gonna have to check as to how far behind he is in levels. Doesn't matter this low, but FizzleBeef just menus so fast I can't even see. Oh, and Willcleosis finding 4 peeds.
So juicy encounter here if he can bring these peeds down. Fire 3 has the firepower to do it.
It was 1400 XP and getting 2 levels in one fight. I'm gonna see him take a lot of these fights, I think. He's gonna see if he can find that off a power cycle and probably get up to, what would you say is our level 10-ish?
At this point in the run, maybe 11. I'd feel more comfortable with 11.
You think that an ice cave dive has got to be next, right?
Maybe an armory check?
Oh, they can't get to ice cave. They don't have a canoe.
Oh yeah, so that basically limits your choices to... We might be seeing a sail to Onrak here.
I think that that's what's going to have to happen. I think they've checked everywhere they can check. Because Melmond, we've got Elfland is Elfland, Melmond is Crescent Lake, and Crescent Lake is Onrak. We've just got the Onrak location left, and FizzleBeef's already gone down into Marsh. Checked pretty much all they can check for chests. The progression has to be down in Onrak, and just to show the skill of these runners, we are only 17 minutes in, and these guys have pretty much checked every single chest that they can check down to Onrak. That is incredible.
We did see the top floor of Marsh. There was nothing to note there. And right now it seems that all signs are pointing to Provoca being at Vanilla Onrak.
These guys have had a little bit of route divergence, but pretty much they've... Somewhere, the other person's followed in their footsteps, and they've just been kind of crisscrossing the whole way. So I don't think Will has gone down to the incentivized Marsh yet. Like Will is heading up to Onrak. He is sailing those high seas.
Fizzle picked up that light axe. I like the play Fizzle did here. He docked in the south dock of Elfland. He's going to bring up his fighter. He's going to stock up. He's going to head to Provoca and find some type of progression there. And he should be well suited for wherever he decides to go thereafter.
Right now, I agree with you, Czar. I think LordFizzlebeef is making really good plays right now, and he's playing his game. When I talked to him before the match, or I heard some of his commentary before, he said he's got to play his own match, and he's tried playing to his opponents before, but as long as he plays his match, he says he can win.
We see Will is about to confirm. We have discovered Provoca at Vanilla Onrak.
There it is. Level 2 spells. Harm 3 and Wall.
I love Wall.
At level 2 Wall. And serve. Oh, level 2 Nuke. And level 2 Bane. And level 2 Ice 3. Oh man, that is a loaded black magic shop at level 2.
Will takes Wall. He's going to take 2 walls. So electing not to go with Harm 4, obviously you don't need it with Nuke. Good selections there by Will.
I don't see any reason to have a Harm 4 when you can just nuke something. And we can see what the Pirates have. Unsafe Pirates is on today. So we, so far, look like we're not going to get our Thunder Pirates.
But we are going to get
Rod. And that means we're going to go to Earth really early so we can unlock those sages. Crescent Lake is in Vanilla Melmond, so that's going to be a nice quick back and forth. Once they'll dock at Melmond, go into Earth, kill Lich, go back, get their Sage's item. And either has to be a loose canoe in, or the Sages will have Vanilla Canoe. What do you think, Czar?
I'm always hoping for that Vanilla Canoe. I don't think it's something that we see enough of myself.
Agree, especially when it's like this, where it's Lich locked. I mean, we get so far away from the vanilla game when we're playing. We seem to kind of forget some of the times that we need vanilla, or like vanilla. And Herb is in Provoca as well. Or to Melmond to find that nurse.
Lots of sailing to be done in this siege. Saving time and knowing your map is going to be very important, and I think both of these runners are phenomenal at doing so. So at this point you have a bit of a choice. Do you try and sell things and grind for that herb? Turn that in? Or do you head to your other location that has opened up?
I think, personally, that herb could lead to either floater or canoe, and you do not want to sail back up here to Onrak. It's really tough to do a stationary grind, and I know LordFizzlebeef hates doing it. Oh, he is going to do it! LordFizzlebeef does not like to stand still. He likes to move forward in his seeds. But if that herb turns into the canoe or the floater, Fizzlebeef's going to have a huge, huge advantage.
And Will's making the play. Cure 4 and Ruse available for level 5 White Magic. We saw Zap and Saber, level 5 Black Magic.
At 22 minutes, we have some route divergence. We have Fizzle grinding for the herb, and Will went straight down for Rod.
Gotta love that you're using that dock as well. That dock right there next to Peninsula Tower is not one you often see used at all. It's always hyped to see that one getting some use.
Fizzlebeef buys the herb. Now, hopefully, he will not have to come back here at all, other than to save when he goes up to Waterfall. It only put him... It was probably 90 seconds. And if Will ends up having to sail back to Onrak, that's, if not more, to try and sail back up there.
Yeah, not even counting encounters, it's a long sail.
Definitely not something that you want to have to do more than once. So, I think Fizzlebeef did the safer play, and Will did a more risky play, but we'll see if it pays off here in the next couple of minutes.
Sea Hags aplenty showing up as we are sailing the high seas today.
As they tend to do. We're just, these runners are very lucky that the Sehags did not roll anything nasty. We have seen more than one seed where the Sehags have rolled damage poison, or thunder, or blizzard, or something that has just been absolutely terrible. Haven't seen much of anything for scumming here for saves. Everybody's just kind of sailing around and come. And there's the Thunder Grimps.
And the Elf Prince has given us the crown.
A nice prince, giving up his crown like that. Means that the kindly old king didn't steal the crown. Prince was holding it the whole time. Will's making the long trek up to Northwest Castle. He's gonna turn in that crown to the kindly old king and see what it gives him. Adamant. I'm voting for... Oh, the loot. Not progression, but definitely needed for the end of the game.
Wow, the loot. So our journey is going to continue. Looking for this canoe or this floater.
Must have missed it because Will most certainly did grab the herb. He turned it in and followed the chain.
I'm thinking Earth Cave.
Yeah, Future Sight. Fizzlebeef already did all of Marsh, but for Will, that's a good question. Not sure where he's gonna go. I would say Earth as well. You got the rod, it opens up there's a bunch of chests there, as well as it opens up the stages when you kill Lich.
Will's thinking about it right now. He's having a think. He says no. Will making the play.
Oh no, he didn't. He backed out. He said, "I'm going down to Marsh Cave, and I want this."
Wow.
Faked us out. I think he faked himself out. Agree, Deng. Will does extensive studying of all of his opponents, and he knows how much LordFizzlebeef loves to dive Marsh early, if he can. Something that I could see Will just avoiding to try and go somewhere else. But 3-minute mark almost, he's deciding to go down there. Welcome Shadow Walker to the chat. So far, we have Yep, Sarah gave us the key. Will is going down to the bottom of Marsh to get his opal bracelet. Vicky was all the way up in Vanilla Onrak. They sailed a little bit ways away from Provoca, and he gave us the rod. Also in Provoca, we had a 15k that both players bought, and they already did the turn in. Crown, Astos gave us the loot. We've found a bunch of towns so far. Provoca was Melmond, Elfland was Elfland. Lake, Crescent Lake was Onrak, and Onrak was Provoca.
Fizzle just said no to the loot, and we'll be coming back for it later.
Wow.
Reset out.
Amazing, because at low levels, that's a decent chunk of XP. Maybe Fizzle's worrying more about the time. Because if he just drops an airship there, you can get rid of Astos in one turn.
I think he has to be, so let's hope that he does remember that loot later.
FizzleBeef making the play.
At this point, really has to. I'm not sure there's anywhere else Fizzle hasn't been.
I agree. And for the new people out there who are thinking about getting into Randomizer, what LordFizzlebeef did there coming out of Melmond is he walked across the ship, whereas to not advance the step counter. If anybody wants to join us in the community, make sure to join us at the Discord.
Wow, how about that?
A loose bottle in Earth, but we have not seen Gaia yet. Gaia or Lefane. they either have to be vanilla or swapped. What else can LordFizzlebeef find down here in Earth? An ice sword. Take that, put that right on his fighter. That is a potential endgame weapon. I don't know what uses are, but I think the lowest that I feel comfortable going into Topher is with an ice sword. I don't like it, but I can do it. Thoughts?
Ice sword is probably right around that level. You might sneak by with a light axe or a flame sword, but you're really chancing it at that point. I do think that the minimum you should be going for is the ice sword.
With the history that LordFizzlebeef has and the bad Tophers he's had, I have a feeling that if he ends up with just the ice sword or just the Vorpal, never find that Vorpal, he might go and check. He reset out of dwarves. He doesn't even have the Vorpal yet.
Yeah, Fizzle really prioritizing time right now and information, as Will is going to escape with the Opal Bracelet in tow.
Zar, I don't think we've seen Warper exit yet.
I don't believe so. They are still out there, which means most likely we'll not be seeing them.
That's gonna cut into the time. Neither of these two have a white mage, and black mage is off the table. And Fiat in chat is saying that exit was level 5, white locked.
Well, the Fiend of Earth is going to demand all the attention today, and I think we're going to be seeing an Earth Orb lit for both runners to begin the lightings.
Dark Kobold, so there are permissions in this game for who can learn what spells. And there are certain spells that only a white mage or white wizard can learn. And there are also certain spells that only that a red mage cannot learn, but a red wizard can learn. So when we talk about permissions, and there's a setting in the randomizer for keep permissions, which would keep the permissions as vanilla. So you'll never learn warp until you become a red wizard. In this flag set, it is the spell slot, not the spell itself. Will's finally having his thief take a dirt nap, so I have a feeling that that's going to stay that way for a while. Oh, a katana find for LordFizzlebeef.
That's an out-of-the-way chest. We see dead are the day of the thief, but thus far the thief has remained up and has gotten a few levels.
Yeah, and actually Hit has been taking a much longer dirt nap than Dead has taken so far. And I'd be surprised if Fizzlebeef four-mans this the whole way, but that's what he looks like he's gonna do. A Pro Cave find. There are only 2 of them in this entire game, and they are fantastic shields for both of your red mages.
Lots of goodies tonight in this Earth Cave.
He did not get a bat room check. Fizzlebeef did not want to party with the bats today. Will, hot on the heels of LordFizzlebeef. This vampire at low levels actually could pose our runners a problem, but that light axe and fire 3, guess not.
Vampire pose problems? Maybe multiples.
We can hope, Czar. We can hope.
Ice armor, that's a good pickup.
Speed buff number 1. Off the table. Will, with his 3-man strats, he's going to quickly overtake Fizzlebeef in levels. 16,000 K.
Forced Earth Cave. Who could have rolled this seed?
I don't know, Czar.
Oh,
I think it was always the robot. Oh, there it is. The stone poison.
Oh no!
Fizzlebeef got stoned.
Wow, that was so deep. That's bad for Fizzle.
Oh, does he remember where the chests are that he wants? He's gonna go straight through, get that ice armor, and
we know that the katana was
he
pretty
already
far out of
saved
the way. We'll see if he comes back for that.
He already saved after getting the bottle, so he doesn't have to worry about going back up on floor 1.
Not interested in that katana. So Fizzle will not have the katana anymore.
Cocktresses are poisoning Willcleosis. Oh no, the specters and geists are back. And Fizzlebeef quickly throws out the Fire 3 and the Light Axe to try and get rid of them and try to run with Dead.
Well, if Fizzle had a lead, it is no longer, and these runners are virtually deadlocked.
And Fizzlebeef also had a level lead because he was taking a few fights on the way through here. I think his guys were all up to level 9 and 10. But now he's back down, just got level 8 again. That's a veteran move right there. He threw the thief up on top to make sure that he could try and get that extra first strike chance, because he does not want those Geist Inspectors to get the jump on him and make him stoned again.
Yeah, that's a veteran move there. It increases your odds of being able not only to get away, but initiatives and chance to strike first, reduces ambushes. Takes another stone there.
Our wonderful tracker, Danny3883, pointing out to me that Fizzlebeef reset out of the bottle. He knows where it is, but he doesn't want it right now.
Well, that's the bottle and the loot for Fizzle.
And right now, we've got 15 key items before you start getting that XP boost, and 2 of them so far.
Oh no, Will's in trouble. He gets away.
Who's that guy that got away? I think... Oh, that was Gouda! Gouda got away! Hey.
Gouda hype.
Fizzlebeef is trying to get out of this Earth Cave as quickly as he can. He does not want any more of those encounters. I'm surprised he didn't throw out the Fire 3s and Light Axes again, because if he fails to run away even once, those stone at least 1, if not 2 of his party members. Key! 1,000 gold. That is a huge number. Bats are giving Will problems too. His bats are just unforgiving in this Earth Cave. One of the alpha features is one of them. I think that's what Lord Fizzlebeef was trying to do with those key checks, seeing if somehow we got that flag implemented. Fizzlebeef having to run from these eye mages right away. Doing some apple plug right there. Comes Lord Fizzlebeef, pulling Lich 1. Out come the nukes right away. 176. Swing for 1 damage from dead. Another nuke for 195, and Lich is still alive. Ice Sword swings for 24. A little bit of absorb, but this is also a low-level party. 28. 2 more nukes should do the trick. 206, Lich 1 down. First orb lit, 40 minutes. And Lord Fizzlebeef is at level 9 on his party.
Not an easy Earth Cave to get through. Well played there by Fizzle. Took a wipe, didn't get discouraged, came right back in. Hopefully Will can finish it up as well, as we sing the bottles coming reclaimed.
Was a fantastic call by Shadow Walker, saying he was going to come back and get the bottle. That's exactly what he did. Now he'll save again. Off he goes. He's going to go straight back to Melman, which is Crescent Lake. Check those sages and find out what our loose item is. Thinks that it's Vanilla Canoe. What do you think, chat? What are the sages going to hold today?
Could possibly be the floater. We might end up finding the canoe elsewhere.
Oh, the ruby! Lord of the Synth is calling for the ruby to do a Sarda check. Are in the area. I like your idea too, Czar, of a floater, which causes them to go to Sarda and Ice Cave for progression. Have access to Ordeal.
They're confused.
Oh, what are these guys doing? Why are they running around? Just hanging out. These sages have got to be off their meds. Oh, TNT! Might.
Pretty dangerous thing for some confused old men to be having.
Imagine if that went off. It would turn into Crescent Crater.
And Lich is down for Will. He had a much faster Lich fight than Fizzle did.
The Willcleosis taking down Lich. Well, that tells you we have about a 2-minute lead for Lord Fizzlebeef. These guys have been in each other's tracks the entire time. They made all the same checks. Does Fizzlebeef recheck all of those dwarf chests and pick up his Vorpal? He knows it's there. He reset out of it. But now he's going down there with the TNT. Calling for TNT into Ruby. Still picking up his bottle. And he's running out.
What's it gonna be?
Come on, chat, give us some Ruby hype. Ruby! It is the Ruby! Trolley seed is Trolley.
Hooray! The chat has been heard.
Here's the Vorpal, the game changer, refound by Lord Fizzlebeef. On Will going down and getting that ice sword. He's putting it down on Zardia. Hooray! We found the Ruby. Knowing Lord Fizzlebeef, I think that was Ruby hype. That was not Vorpal hype.
Fizzle looked ecstatic about that find. He got in all of his hoorays. We see Vorpal's in the chat. Team Vorpal represent. Welcome, Xanth.
This guy is saying that the world is going to disappear. No, that's Chaos's job, chat. Let chaos be a thing for 3 to 4 minutes here. I think him in about an hour 15. The way this, the loot was from the kindly old king. Playing his loot, and we ran up and stole it from him. As Maverick points out, the kindly old king actually turned out to be the Dark Elf Astos. Never saw that coming. Never saw it coming. And today the Titan was fed.
We have a Forced Earth, and what looks to be a Forced Titan as well. Revenge of the Earth Continent. Make Melman great again.
A heal, some bucks. There, a loose floater! What? Lord for FizzleBeef.
Titan loaded.
These loose items. Nothing here. There's nothing here, says FizzleBeef. Trying to shoot out some psychic energy to Willcleosis. Don't check here. You don't need this. But check Sarda. He's not gonna walk down there. He's gonna go straight back to his ship, and he's gonna pick up the floater. What do you think about that, Zar?
Fizzle has been prioritizing these finds to the airship, and it actually seems that it may benefit him, as he's yet to really take that many grind or encounter.
When he does finally do his grind and finally starts taking encounters, he's gonna probably have that 15 key item XP boost, so he should be able to make up the ground pretty quick on Will. But right now, Will's only minutes behind him. He's not very far behind.
I think this race, at this point, is going to come down to a lot of clean routing, knowing exactly where to go on your overworld with your airship.
Of course, it's going to come down to the Zar NG.
That's
and
always
at
a factor,
40
more so for some than others.
46 minutes,
46, yeah.
Fizzle is in the air. He's going straight over to Sarda. He didn't want to walk there, he wanted to fly there. We'll find out what Sarda has. He has the Adamant. Will going down, picking up his ruby.
So it was the right play by Fizzle to come with the airship, because if you get the Adamant there, you might end up sailing back, turning in the Adamant before going to get the airship.
Now he's going to go pick up his loot. Stops right at Northwest Castle and the old king. Steals his loot right out of his lap. He's just hanging out, playing his loot. Sarda looked at FizzleBeef and said, I don't need this rock. Yes,
It's like the opposite of FF4.
Madrian, yes, Will did get his Vorpal. He went down and did his key checks right away. This gives us the crystal. I had no idea that the king was going to be Astos the whole time. That's insane. How did he fool us this whole time?
I don't know. It's weird. Like I said, it's like FF4. The Dark Elf is playing the loot. It's the opposite.
Oh, man.
FF4.
And Matoya gives us the chime. Now we have access to Sky. But we still do not have a canoe.
Where could it be?
A bottle turning. Mary pull up the canoe from the depths of her little lake. She did. Do we trust that canoe? Will finding its floater in the bottom of Titan's tunnel. UX, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is canoe's gonna be? Oh, we don't have cube yet, so it could be in the not equals room. Could be on floor 1. We've not found the cube yet. The tail.
Class change imminent for LordFizzlebeef.
Oh, for sure. He said all 4 of his guys up, and Will is 2-manning it. Will is going down, and he's going to 2-man grind this up with his fighter and one of his red mages. Guys get to probably 20, I'd say 28, if I had to guess. Mage staff and Cardia, silver hat, white shirt, and some bucks. making some really good quick checks here at Cardia. He's going to do the class change. He's going to do all the checks. And right now it's paying off.
Yeah, making some very good moves here. This Fizzle has been this whole seed. We were questioning why he was set out of those items. Surely he was determining by reasoning of elimination that the airship would be imminent, and he would be able to collect them later very quickly.
And she did find your staff. It was in Cardia the whole time. The dragons must have stole it. Happy, I agree. The Beefer is not a good nickname. And there it is. There's the class change. And Vorpal's going on hit. Oh no, Vorpal is going on dead. Dead is wielding the Vorpal while Will gets in the air at 50 minutes.
A ninja with the Vorpal? What magic is this?
Ninja's wielding a big boy weapon. He didn't go back and get that katana, otherwise he could be doing katana and... But he's not. Dead is still alive, Future Sight. Really, if you're going to talk about Gorilla Monsoon, make sure that you RIP that. Fizzlebeef doing the last... Oh, and a loose slab!
Cardia Island's loaded.
That's all three of our loose items, I believe, isn't it? Oh, and the Mass Immune! Massa found in Cardia. A slab found. If I had to guess.
A very interesting scenario starts to form here, in that you have not found any ribbons yet, but you have wall available.
Indeed. And I'd assume at this point that slab has to turn into the canoe. Because we are out of options. We're quickly running out of options. For a quick recap, let's see what we got here. We have the King gave us the ship. Sarah gave us the key. Marsh locked held the opal bracelet. Bicky held the rod. Herb, which turned into the crown from the prince. Astos gave the loot. Lab. Bottle on floor 1. The sages gave us the TNT. Narek gave us the ruby. Titan gave us the Titan's tunnel gave us a loose floater. Sarda with the adamant. Mickey McBeardface gave us the crystal, or beard sword. Smithy McBeardsword gave us the crystal. Matoya gave us the chime. Fairy gave us the tail, and Cardia had a loose slab. All three of our loose items.
Bane's sword was also discovered in Titan's Trove.
Gaia was Vanilla Gaia, so that means that Lefane is Vanilla Lefane. Slab translated, he's going to come down here to the Lupa Lupas, and he's going to get his canoe. This Fizzlebeef's going to hit up Ordeals and Waterfall in short order, and hope that he finds his ribbons there, and then start knocking out these fiend dungeons. What do you think, Czar?
I think it's something that has to happen very shortly here. We're approaching the 54-minute mark, and it has not been the swiftest of paths to the skies for either of these runners.
And there it is. There's a canoe from the Lupas. The Beef with a veteran move going up to the second bridge over, so he doesn't get stuck behind one of the men who is hanging out there. Our runners have no access to warp, no access to exit, so there's going to be no Topher grind today unless you're going to stay down there. Up his white shirt and his mage staff. Also picked up his mass immune, so these guys are loaded. Cremate.
And looking at current equipment, the only real difference that I'm seeing is that Will has a defense sword on top of that white shirt, whereas LordFizzlebeef only has the white shirt. And Will does not have the defense sword.
We're gonna continue this two-man. Fizzlebeef nuking some wolves. The Lefane area is very interesting because it's got a couple of different encounter zones. You've got the Peninsula of Power zone, which is right down there by Lefane, and then you've got another really strong... Oh, what is that, Czar? What is on our screen?
It looks like a big, juicy steak, and Lord Fizzlebeef is going to serve us up.
That looked delicious. That... How do we do that, Czar? How do we get steak on the screen?
Well, at some point, which I think it was around version 2.0 of the randomizer, maybe before that, it was decided that Team Steak needed to find its way into the randomizer and give people an option to go ahead and change that Tyro on over to its true form. And with that flag on, thus you see the steak and you are able to cut it yourself.
And cut the steak, Lord Fizzlebeef did. Just true to his name, bringing the beef to the table. Hooray, hooray from Willcleosis.
Lots of dwarf love shown in this seed by both runners.
Lord Fizzlebeef running into Castle of Ordeals. So far, other than the Thunder Grimps, we haven't really seen anything, and the Stone Poison, haven't really seen anything out of these enemies. These zombies aren't showing much of anything either. They're just being XP pinatas for this 4-man that Fizzlebeef has going on.
Makes you start to wonder, where are all these skills at? Are they all clustered into some place like Sea Shrine?
Cleos is going and picking up his chime from Matoya. Why an old blind lady has a chime? It's probably to make sure that people know that she's hanging around. A Will going down. He's going to pick up his canoe. He is not very far behind Lord Fizzlebeef at all right now, and he is going to come storming. A couple of bad pillar choices by Fizzlebeef, and this is going to be neck and neck again.
There has not been a significant lead for either runner from the get-go here. Extremely close race thus far.
With Willcleosis doing a two-man here, basically this is as good as a pop grind, but you're walking. You're actually getting somewhere. So he's going to start picking up levels really, really, really quickly on these two light warriors. Well, there's the defense sword. Lord Fizzlebeef finds it in the upper left corner of Castle of Ordeals. And Lyra, I saw you in chat earlier. The dragon sword has been found. That means that our robot overlord has been summoned.
Oh no.
Will we see the war mech? Still hitting up Lefane. Potion, a couple bucks for Lord Fizzlebeef. What does it hold? The cube. And there's the cube and a canoe. We have a couple of... At the same time, we have really, really, really paper zombie dragons. I'm surprised Lord Fizzlebeef didn't take a couple of those fights. That he could use up, and he has a lot of levels that he needs.
Sky now open. That's one of these places that he could get those levels should he decide to dig for a ribbon there.
Czar, do you take some of those zombie dragon fights?
Let's see, we are almost an hour in. Myself, I would probably be inclined to take a couple, maybe burn off your Fire 3 chargers and then continue on in your nukes.
I agree, that's...
But when you're playing someone like Willcleosis, you have to alter your strategy a little bit, I would think.
I agree. Will finding the red anklos.
High five!
They high five in the desert.
That's
Will
gotta be
showing
something that awesome. Soria!
showing veteran move here. Those Sarias are Agama pluses. They are the green Agamas of the overworld of XP. Zard, do you know what we have not seen yet? We have not seen the ice cave.
We haven't seen that yet, have we?
We have not. And FizzleBeef is coming up here to the waterfall. Red Platypus, the rare land Agama. We have a 50-50 shot here of or Ribbon. I believe Oxyale puts LordFizzlebeef in go mode. But as you said, we have not seen a Ribbon yet. Coming up here right away after class change and getting his wall and his nuke on his knight and his ninja.
That's a good play there. Those are two spells that could be clutch later. Still no sign of a Ribbon. I'm really interested to see how many chests Fizzle takes from this point forward.
And LordFizzlebeef knocking off 4 items from each of his light warriors, and he is going to pick up 4 pro rings. He has no ribbons, but he's going to try and stop those instant deaths. Dragon sword and his defense sword. He's going to like that find.
Well, despite all odds, that thief has remained. It has turned into a ninja, and this ninja is going to be getting some use.
Picking up his bucks and an iron gauntlet. He's going to find his cube. FizzleBeef just screaming through this waterfall. There's a lag in encounters. He screamed halfway through the waterfall without getting any encounter at all.
It was a very heroic run.
Now the question is Will doesn't take any fights there either. He's two-manning it. He knows he's going to get the levels. Taflon, I think Will's Thief got about 4 levels before he took a dirt nap.
Welcome Thunderclaw to the chat. Good to see you. It has been quite a race already. It's been close the whole way.
This seed hasn't really given you a whole lot in ability to even do a route divergence because you got the late.
Looks like Will is right around level 17. I think Fizzle's right around there as well.
Missed it. FizzleBeef back in Waterfall. Looks like he must have taken a wipe. Back to the left. Did some item maintenance, and I'm assuming that it was just a misclick to, not re-equip the Vorpal onto the Knight. He moved a couple of things around to get that defense sword where he wanted it.
So just a quick reminder, we are in the bracket stages of the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament. This is the first matchup between Willcleosis and LordFizzlebeef. This is a best of 3, as we discover a ribbon from the robot.
Oh, Marcy's holding a ribbon. Look pretty. The question is, if FizzleBeef takes another wipe here, does he come back in for that ribbon? He knows it's here.
It would definitely be handy. You have wall available, but you're not guaranteed to be able to get that wall up before something nasty comes out. And we have trance coming out, oh no!
And there's the nuke. Nuke to save the day. But it does not take out the Whiz Mummy. Now that Fizzle's got it.
Go ahead.
Now that Fizzle's got a few levels on that ninja, I think he might leave him stoned.
Could be. Maybe wants a few more spell charges. Looks like he's having a good think here, unless we lost his stream.
Oh, his timer is still going, so maybe he just had to take a little break. Been a stressful seed for him so far. But Will taking the dive into Ice Cave.
This is our first look into Ice Cave. Oh, Fizzle. We gotta get you back,
Fizzle,
buddy. This is not the race that we need to be losing time. He's back.
He's back. Uh-oh. Cat coming up with new nicknames for the runners.
We love you, Chad.
Oh no, more trance.
Bit of a precarious waterfall here.
Got some trance paralisks, and we will see the paralisks again when we get back into Volcano. Just want to have a dance party, guys. That's it. Well, he doesn't even check those other chests.
No, he does not.
He just goes straight down when you're still looking for ribbons and armor. Skipping all of those chests as well. Will is in go mode. He's finally gonna take a couple of these chests. A buck, wooden stick. Got some damage poison on the mud goals, so I think we found where a lot of our spells rolled to are. Oh, a Thor hammer for Will.
Okay. That's going to be nice. You always like to find the Thor hammer or the Zeus gauntlet before Sea Shrine.
It's gonna help out with Sea Shrine, and I think he currently put it on the Red Wizard, but I have a feeling he might throw that over to the Knight once he hits up Sea Shrine.
Nightmares with Lightning 3.
We did not see that in the Castle of Ordeals or the first couple of Nightmare fights that he took. We'll pull in 6 wizards. At the Wraith Image Geist. Fizzlebeef makes it out of the waterfall with his ribbon in tow.
And that waterfall is particularly deadly, especially without Exeter Warp. Hydra with damage poison.
Fizzlebeef having none of it, he just quad X's and he erases that Hydra from existence. There's the Oxyale. Just poison everywhere in this seed. At least looks like it's going to be for the late game.
Will's going to take a couple eye encounters here. I think this is a good play for him right now.
His 2-man eye grind? How far do you think he's going to go on this, Czar?
What level will he be looking for here? He has the game changer.
So 22 on the Vorpal or 24 on Massa? In the chat, Triton in chat saying 22-ish. I agree, I think the highest he would go is 24. That's... Moo in chat saying go to 32. I don't see him doing that. We're not black belting tonight, Dangwoo. We have a force fighter.
Experience racking up very quickly.
Eyes have poison touch. Not a lot of hit points.
Fizzle
Moon
picking
Chat
up those expensive gold bracelets.
pointing out the Vorpal's 5th hit is at 32. But the 4th hit is at 22, and that's where Will decides he's going to stop. He might hit time he hits Topher, but that depends on how many encounters he wants to take in Sea and Sky. It was a very quick eye grind. And especially when it's got low hit points. Willcleosis is giving us our first taste of Volcano, and there are a lot of Argoyles in here. Chat asking if we're going to have a full clear here of the Volcano.
With ribbon on the table, possible. We still have a ribbon to be found. Again, we have wall, but it's not guaranteed to get off in time. And it's quite compelling that we have not yet seen Volcano in this seed from either runner. And the armory is usually a lucrative place that many runners check early.
I agree, Zara. I think that that Will's probably only going to check armory and maybe some of the chests along the way. I don't think this is going to be a full clear of Volcano. I think he's in go mode. He's probably not even going to run up to Waterfall. He knows that it is the ribbon at this point. Only incentivized location left. He's found all 3 loose. And LordFizzlebeef heading into ice to get his Oxyale. Oh, red Hydras with Quad X.
Yuck.
Will proving me to be... Oh, he just took the free chest. X plus pi indicating that he could run to Waterfall if he runs along the way, and I agree. If he's gonna 2-man it, he only needs 2 ribbons. Or if he pulls up that other Red Mage caster, he could use Wall. I think Will knows who he's against, and I don't know if he's gonna play it safe.
We all know that Temple can be the great equalizer, and you can come in with a big lead and it won't matter, as the wipes can pile up quickly, and before you know it, you're tied up with someone who you thought you might have been 20 minutes ahead of.
That is exactly what happened last year when these two met. LordFizzlebeef went into Temple of Fiends, had a really big lead, and wiped. Let Willcleosis... There's a ribbon. Loose ribbon in Volcano. Willcleosis pulls it.
Big find for Will.
And that's in a free chest. I have a feeling the Fizzlebeef will check that one. But yeah, LordFizzlebeef had a big lead last year going into Topher. Wiped a few times. Willcleosis comes back. Wins the match.
There's so much history between these two runners. I wouldn't want to say that this race is something personal, but I would say that it is something important for both of these runners to come away with the win today.
And Willcleosis is proving me to be wrong. He is doing a mostly full clear. These chests are pretty out of the way, Zar. Just picking them up. What do you think?
Maybe looking for that dragon armor can save him quite a bit for that night with only having 1 ribbon. I'm sure he wants to keep that ribbon on his spellcaster.
Dragon armor plus pro ring plus Aegis shield is almost as good as a ribbon. So if he can find all those for his knight, he could do it with 1 ribbon. Fizzlebeef pulling 7 wizards. Find a big nothing burger in those chests. Okay. Finding nothing in the Agama chests. Think he checks a red D chest, Zar?
I'm sorry, say again?
Think he's gonna check the red dragon chest?
I think that's a possibility. He's going to take these red giants, so still looking for these high experience encounters.
The red giants with 2 hits, hitting his knight for 110. Not checking the red dragon chest.
Time to engage Carry, the Fiend of Fire, as Fizzle comes out of the ice cave. Oxyale in hand. Chug, chug, chug.
I think it's safe to say that Willcleosis has taken a small lead in this race. Made the right play to go to ice instead of volcano, or ice instead of waterfall, and
It has. I don't think Will got through waterfall yet, though, and it's a dangerous place.
we'll see if Will even goes down there. He knows the ribbon is there. Will taking out Carry real quick. And we have a second orb lit at 116.
Let's take a look at some level 7 white magic. Soft. And it's time to go into Sea Shrine.
Well, LordFizzlebeef walking straight past the armory. Does he feel comfortable with his 1 ribbon and gold bracelets?
To move past the armory like that, I think, yes, he does. He has to be. I think he's going to be confident with that ninja that he decided to keep up, implying the 4-man strat, and trusting that Wall will be able to protect his other party members, should he encounter something nasty in Temple.
Chat's pointing out that Fizzlebeef checked armory already, and he walked right past the ribbon chest. Right past the ribbon chest, and he is not going to see that ribbon.
Oh, Fizzle! And just moments after Will brought down the Fiend of Fire, Carry will most likely be no match for Fizzle's party at this point.
Fizzlebeef taking on Carry, double nuke for about 250 together, triple nuke. And Carry's still standing. We're coming out with some more nukes and look like maybe a quad X. 300 on that nuke roll. Some for the knight, another 300 and some. Quad X, erased, terminated. LordFizzlebeef lights his second orb at 118. Now they both have almost exactly the same equipment. Fizzlebeef's been running a 4-man crew. Willcleosis has been running a 2-man crew. Based on their orb lighting, about 2 minutes ahead.
Will still checking some chests here. He's in the Sharknado room.
That is willing. My name is... Wow. He checked the My Name Is guy in Onrak.
Be sure to make a note and remind us, chat, to ask him about that after the race. Excalibur discovered on Willcleosis in the Sharknado. That's a big find for him.
Based on the way that Fizzlebeef is taking this right now, he is not going to find that. He didn't find that second ribbon, which was literally not out of the way at all.
So Will's going to have his selection here. If he wants Excalibur, if he wants Massmune, or if he wants Vorpal.
Fine Days asking who's winning. Right now, Will...
Too close to call.
and Orb at 116, Fizzle lit it at 118, and they are neck and neck.
The main factor right now,
There's
I think, is going to be Waterfall. If Will decides to go to Waterfall or not. Because we know it's extra nasty, and we know that there's no warp or exit available. I think Will is not going there. I think he's going to head to Sky after this and try and finish this thing up.
I agree 100%, Czar. Will is in go-ish mode, but he's not going to take the extra time to get through Waterfall, even though he knows there's a ribbon there. He'll take what he has. He'll take Wall. Oh. But we got Will pulling Kraken 2, or Kraken 1 at an hour and 20 minutes. We got some defense swords going out, some tempers going out. 2 from Kraken. Defense sword. A Kraken to hit Will. 375. I don't think Kraken is long for this world. Broken into pieces! All that preparation and all he had to do was break him into pieces.
Awesome kill by there by Will. That's another factor coming up, is that Fizzle might take a little longer in the Fiend fights to get set up with the 4-man strat, whereas Will's strategy is much simpler with the 2-man strat.
Now, Willcleosis aside, we can see what a Tyro looks like when he is not steak. But Will chopped him up into steak anyways. Got more steak.
Observe the Tyro in
FizzleBeef
its natural form.
Walking right by Xcal. He doesn't know what's in these chests. We do. We can say he's walking by it. A Kraken. Oh, just going straight through straight through Mirage 1, hitting up Mirage 2. I can see him going straight to Temple. But getting these Catmen.
Will takes an ambush there, says no way. I'm not taking that ambush.
Because he does not want these Catmen. The only difference is the palette color, but he doesn't want that encounter. FizzleBeef nuking some lobsters. Our first look at the blue dragon. And 567 damage, then that blue dragon does not stand up to that. I'm pointing out that was a really, really long run through Mirage, but LordFizzlebeef pulls Kraken at the 1 hour and 22 minute mark. He pulls out the Brack strats right away and broken into pieces instantly. LordFizzlebeef just taking out Kraken right away.
Save time over Will in that Kraken 2 fight. Right on his heels right now.
FizzleBeef is checking level 7 spells in Gaia.
Looks like he wants some items here too.
He must be running low on some heal pods. Will checking nothing. Here are the man cats. Will's gonna nuke those man cats out of existence. This is already, I don't know about you, but this is one of the scariest battles you can get in Sky Temple.
It is. If they roll anything nasty, you're going to see a lot of it. But if you can actually get them down, lots of experience and gold to be had, as it's time to get our Blitz RNGs. The chat is reminding us.
When the Wiz vampires are unrunnable. We'll have to see if that formation holds in Topher. The Sky Temple floor in Topher holds Wiz vampires and vampires. If that's unrunnable after a Team-at 2 fight, that could be rough.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I think the vampire formation in the air floor is a little different, so that might benefit him.
Mountain, yeah, Will's been running a 2-man. And the nachos are unrunnable. Fizzlebeef is hot on his heels, though. He's going to take this blue dragon fight as well.
Will taking these fights. He wants levels for his warriors coming into temple. Will he fight the war mech if he encounters it?
Triton GL in chat pointed out a little bit ago when we were talking about the eye grind. How high is Will going to go? He could get 32 just taking these encounters.
32 is a stretch, but it's possible. Depending on what we see in temple.
These slimes have a decent amount of hit points. Just nuked him and he only took out half of them. They have fire too. And slimes pull out the heal too. Thor's Hammer just doing chip damage on him. Fire 3 though gets the job done. Iron Golem fight, that is huge experience.
Oh my goodness!
And we have it, chat. We have Warmack with Rub to start with, and he runs away.
Yeah, said no way. Warmack got the ambush on him and a big hit. I think that was the right play for Will. Gotta know when to hold him, know when to fold him.
Here comes Tiamat. They're just screaming through these floors. We got some Brack strats coming out, and ineffective. Oh, he didn't get the first round Brack, but we got some defense coming out. We got a Cure 4, and Tiamat rolled 5 hits.
Tiamat hitting pretty strong here.
5 hits for almost 300 damage, and a damage poison, and the red wizard goes down. Luckily, those defenses came up, and Tiamat is terminated.
Tiamat won, no slouch.
LordFizzlebeef finding that the wizard vampires are unrunnable, but he's got enough light warriors that he should be able to do that in one round with those fire 3s.
So now, will we see an entire party being revived here for Will to have some meat shields, or just a 2-man?
I don't think Will has access to life.
Well, he's probably going to hit the clinic here regardless.
When those meat shields go down, because I think that thief only has a couple of levels on him at best.
He's bringing them all up.
Those meat shields go down, they're staying down. Gouda, Pour Blood, or just a bag of meat shields for the fiends in the temple.
Will is going to put the ninja at the bottom of the party.
We'll be taking more rock goal fights. Fizzlebeef finding a big old nothing burger here on Sky 3. Entering Temple of Fiends. Under 1.5 hours, we're at 128.
Will making sure to use all his houses before going in. He'll have a much easier time menuing to those heals now.
It's a veteran move that a lot of people, if you're just getting into this game, that's something that you don't think about, is how quickly can you menu to those heal potions. Table figured out. This is a hero run. He made it all the way to the Phantom. He avoided all those bad men on that level. That was amazing. Will has this encounter table figured out. We have chat praying for more Warmech. We want to see what else Warmech has. What do we have, Warmech? Trait. We'll find more Frost Giants and Frost Wolves over here in Temple of Fiends. Get out your chips, everybody. We got some nachos. And, oh, there he is!
It's the clean sweep! And Fizzle's gonna take him on.
He ambushes with Rub. The Invis 2s. We want to make sure that this Warmech cannot hit us. And the white shirts. Then the defense. Bane coming out. Poison Smoke. Oh, and it takes out 3. These party members are taken out by poison smoke.
Oh,
this is
no.
a man mode. Man mode. Oh, and fast. You gotta run, FizzleBeef. You gotta run. Damage.
NASA's not doing much.
Oh no. Runs away. That was that was the right answer, FizzleBeef.
We know that Tiamat is no slouch either.
Willcleosis is pulling
Lich
Lich.
goes down.
So Willcleosis pulls Lich 2, and next thing you know, he's down. Hit with that Masa for 700 damage, something like that, and Lich 2 goes down.
Fizzle took a crit, he's in trouble.
Tia with 5 hits was no slouch at all either. Luckily, he pulled heal 3 for that that night. He didn't get any temper charges because all of his mages are dead. So he's gonna have to sit here and pray for crits on that Masa. Or you might actually want that Vorpal. You want that higher crit rate, lower damage rate. To roll a lot of Absorb. Just Nova, LordFizzlebeef fell behind when he did the waterfall. Did not do the waterfall at all. And LordFizzlebeef man modes it out of Sky.
Yeah,
made it out of Tia 2 with only one Light Warrior standing.
Waterfall's been the story of this race.
It really has. Blood pulling a level 12 and 13 here in the Temple of Fiends. Gouda taking a dirt nap for Will.
No, Gouda, we needed you.
Did my job. I took 1 hit and just fell over.
Just be sure to take a moment to give these runners a follow. They're putting on a phenomenal show for us this evening. Great adapting to this seed. This is a rivalry that has continued since the first tournament. It's coming down to the wire as Will draws carry 2.
This was supposed to be LordFizzlebeef's revenge match against Willcleosis. And right now, it's going to come down to fight by Will. Because he's got lead. Minute lead on FizzleBeef. Fizzle enters the Temple of Fiends Revisited at 132. Cleosis entered at 128. This is a fantastically close race. Willcleosis, no problems. Here we go. Now, did not get that same run that Willcleosis did, so he pulled 7 bad men. Man formation is not 8 bad men now.
Those men are not okay.
Okay, man. That's not a formation that you like to see. They generally roll really high hit points, and they generally roll enough hits to make you hurt and use up some of your resources. FizzleBeef validating his run with nothing. And here comes Kraken. Kraken 2. Bane Sword ineffective. Invis 2 coming out. Defense Sword coming out. Oh, Thunder from Kraken to start it off.
I'll take Thunder over a big melee.
Absolutely, every day. Another Bane Sword. Will pulling out more tempers. 273. Kraken's got nuclear, and 2 of his Light Warriors go down. It's Mad Mode from here on out for Willcleosis. Fire 3 comes out. And Kraken 2 is terminated. Hold A and pray strats for the win with Willcleosis. Calamari had some nuclear up his sleeve. So now we'll see what happens. The levels on that night, because he's level 29. Still got the Mass Immune going. Sword over.
Better move there. Wants the AoE just in case. He's going to take these waters, get experience. Might consider trying to get to 32 at this point.
I think that might be the only way that he's gonna... Well, depends on what Tia 2 has.
Oh, he gets the initiative.
He gets away from those. He's got enough heal pots, unless he runs into a lot of encounters down here. He's got the heal pots to make it to Chaos. But let's see what 2 has. Defense sword. Oh, 2 hits for 353 damage. The second hit, though. Pulls out the lit 2 damage. Oh, this is not going to go well for Will. 3 hits, 144. Fire 3 comes out. Fire 3 comes out again. Getting the job done right now. 3 hits for 100. Blaze. 5 hits, 201. 5 hits again. Blizzard comes out, and the Knight's down on a knee. Ink, free round. 4 hits, 314, and Tia 2 is terminated.
Wow, that was clutch for Will.
Oh, man. And that's going to eat up a lot of his heal pots. But LordFizzlebeef pulling out... Or Lich 2. And a couple of nukes. Taking the dirt nap. Oh, gets the hero run after Tia 2. Here it comes. At 136, 137, he is going to pull Chaos. See what he does. Defense is up.
Take it, Kuda.
Chaos does 48, hitting like a wet noodle. Defense is up again. Ice 2. And now he's at max evade. Here we go. Fire 2. Chaos has nothing so far. Do 4 hits for 106. 5 hits, 328. Inferno comes out. Will has to get this done before Chaos's spells really start coming through. Tornado 105. He's got a skill list. There's no nuclear in there, Will. 3 hits for 32. Attack misses. That's what we want to see. He's at max evade. 127 by Will. Pauses a little bit. 5 hits, 43. Zap comes out. Ineffective. 5 hits, 177. 53. There's not a lot of damage here being done on this Chaos. 5 hits, 328. There's the nuclear, and it low-rolled. Will got so lucky. 4 hits, 81, and terminated! Willcleosis takes the match out of 3. GG, Will. That was a man mode if I've ever seen one. And on carry 2. Pulls out the Cure 4, pulls out the Mass Immune. 4 hits, 400 damage. 4 hits, 467 damage. And the Quad X comes out and takes out carry.
GG Will, what a clutch finish. Can't wait to get him in here for the interview.
Flying Skull, this is best of 3. These runners are so good that there's a lot of these that are gonna go 2-3. And we've got Willcleosis. In. Zari, you want to pull him in whenever you're ready? GG, Will. GG.
Thank you, Gouda.
And that was a hero run, if I've ever seen one.
Oh, thank you. Made it through cowboy mode.
But I noticed you were using a Mass Immune. What was going on?
Oh, you know, I got to. It's spring tournament. It's the best time of year here in Final Fantasy Randomizer. It's also the best time of year in northern Michigan. It gets all nice out. You can actually see the grass, and there's no snow.
And LordFizzlebeef is pulling Kraken 2 right now. Pulls out the Temper, pulls out the Defense Sword, pulls out the Wall. That's a good move. He's only got... Oh, but Kraken hits! 400 damage. And he pulls out the Defense Sword real quick again. Kraken pulls out Fire 3. 143 by the Knight. This Mass Immune and this Topher is just not get... Oh, and there's the Terminated. 300 and some damage on a crit. LordFizzlebeef only has 16 heal pods left after cracking 2.
Earth Cave had to have been a problem. I got very fortunate to get through there.
Cave was a problem. Do you want to know what the difference in this run was, Will?
Yeah, I never saw a power gauntlet or anything, so I don't think it was anything that I did.
Wasn't equipment. It wasn't necessarily levels. You did 2-man, he did 4. Waterfall.
Waterfall. Oh, yeah, I was gonna go back there, too, because Pro Rings were for sale, and I was gonna route them together. But I wanted to get Cure 4 from the new Melmond, which was in the old Provoca, and Ice Cave was right there. I said, forget it, I'm just gonna go mode it. Maybe the Oxale's there, maybe it's something else, I don't know. And it was there.
Fizzlebeef's having a much, much better time with this Tia 2. He was just hitting crits all over the place, and Tia 2 is down. Nothing crazy out of that Tia 2. So now he's going to be pulling Chaos. You didn't go to Waterfall, you went straight to Ice Cave, Will, and next thing you know, you overtook Fizzlebeef, because you were in Ice, he was in Waterfall almost at the exact same time. And he got out, you got out, and then he had to go back to Ice.
I was gonna skip Marsh Cave too, and I put it off, and I said, okay, I have to go there with the Mystic Key, because I knew he went there first. I know he did.
Chaos pulls out Tornado almost instantly on LordFizzlebeef, and Fizzle's hitting 5 for 18 damage with this Mass Immune. 5 for 160, Fire 2 comes out by Chaos. Chip damage, but chip damage is the name of the game when it comes to this fight. Because Chaos is spell happy. Zap comes out ineffective. 5 damage. 5 hits 17 damage. This Mass Immune's just doing nothing. 5 hits 48 damage. I think this was a game changer fight here, Will. You need that crit rate.
As long as for
Chaos
me, if you have the Vorpal, if you have the Game Changer in your inventory, and you believe, and you are in Team Vorpal, it works. That's why it worked.
Inferno, and that Knight is down on one knee. There's a couple of crits by the Mass Immune. Finally, 280 damage. Quad X does not work. Ribbon and Pro Ring doing its job. 5 hits 17 damage. Lit 2 hit is down to 69 damage, or 69 hit points.
Come on, Fizzlebeef, come on, baby!
Come on, Fizzle, you got to get this. And Chaos misses an attack again. Let's keep him attack happy. Hold A and pray. 5 hits, 175, terminated.
Yeah.
Fizzlebeef comes in with an SRL time of 142.34. GG to Fizzlebeef. Willcleosis.
Fizzle in here.
And that was
Will, it's our
difference.
GG, man.
Zardia, thank you, sir.
Executed a plan. You came into Temple with 1 ribbon with 2-man strats. Were you at all concerned?
Yes, very. No life. That's why I tried to hide the ninja in the bottom, and I kept healing him to try to keep getting away from fights as long as he would survive. And no life. Had Cure 4s. Okay, that was good. But once they were gone, this is LordFizzlebeef. This guy's elite, and you have to go for it. I was not going to hit the reset button. If I did not make it through Chaos, even though I made it to Chaos, I was going to leave, and I was going to break my 3 rule and hope that Fizzlebeef struggled as well. But I was able to get through.
We're joined now by Lord Fizzlebeef. GG to you, Lord Fizzlebeef. Welcome.
G Lord
I always
Fizzlebeef.
gotta be Earth Cave. Why? Why?
Earth Cave was a big story of this run. It turns out there was another place that was a story this run, but first of all, Fizzle, tell us your thoughts about that temple.
Would have been nice if I had a whole party.
Did you have softs? Did you get stoned? Petrified?
No, I got poison damaged by Mudgulls on Earthfloor. That took down the thief, and then I think Carrie snagged one of my red mages. And then Kraken hugged the other red mage. And then I just solo fightered the rest of the way.
I did that at the end of the game. The stone poison, I got so fortunate that it missed my caster, and then I kept getting turn order to get through the Earth Cave. And when I saw that, I'm like, you know what? He went to Marsh first. Did you go to Marsh first? Marsh locked?
Yeah.
I knew you would. And so I tried to skip it as much as I could. And then I turned in the crown And I'm right there, and I'm like, you know what? I know he did this. If progression is there, I just have to go. And I tried so hard to skip it, and I went there and blew all that time that I thought I might have had an advantage. But I got very fortunate to get through that Earth Cave.
So much of my run was just, I don't want to do Earth Cave yet, and if everything is an Earth Cave, then I just lose. And then everything was an Earth Cave, and I got real sad, but I made an effort.
I think the biggest lead that anybody had until one specific point, which is the waterfall, and I'll get to that in a minute, was around 2 minutes. Fizzle, you were in front of Will most of the match until that point. You decided to go to waterfall, and Will decided to go to ice cave.
I mean, I don't regret it, because that was the only ribbon I found, but... And it sucks to do an optional dungeon. I mean, of the two, I would rather have the ribbon than the opal bracelet, but... I mean, that early in the game, it was like Marsh or nothing, pretty much. It was Marsh or sail to Onrak, which, lost that one, but...
You did double red, right?
Yeah.
I knew you would. I was headed there. I said it before you got here, but I was going to go to the waterfall and pick up pro rings at the same time. They were for sale in the old Onrak. And I'm like, okay, wait, hold on. I want to get Cure 4 first. Where's that? Okay, it's in the new Melmond. That's in the old Provoca. So I went there and got the Cure 4, and I'm like, you know what? And I'll just try the Ice Cave, because I knew you didn't have Warp or Exit either. Heck, I never saw him, I don't think, even.
Exit was level 5, white locked.
Okay, that's right, it was there, I think. Yes, that's right, because I was with Cure 4. And so I knew you didn't have that. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, well, alright, I'll just do this, I'll run through. I'm pretty sure it could be the Oxyale, either that or it's in Waterfall, and I'll go there anyway. And fortunately enough, it was.
Yeah, so some hard numbers. At 46 minutes, Will, you were in the air at 50 minutes, so that was probably the biggest lead until the waterfall.
Yeah, I mean, I needed that ribbon. That ribbon was what saved my solo fighter at the end.
You walked right by the second ribbon that you could have picked up in Volcano. It was the free chest as you went down towards the Agamas.
Oh, I mean... I had everything I needed. I knew I was in go mode, and I knew that there was a 50-50 that ribbon was going to be the incentive I picked or not, right? So I was less concerned. I still kind of wanted a ribbon. That's why I did the armory check. That's why I checked a couple other things. But I wasn't so dead set on it that I was ready to continue full clearing. And then when I saw the one out of Waterfall, it's like, alright, this is the result I didn't want, but this puts us in kind of, sort of, mostly full go mode, so I'll take it.
That's exactly what I did, essentially, but I found the ribbon in the volcano.
Mm-hmm.
And so I knew I was going to go. I was thinking the same exact thing. Go figure. Willcleosis said LordFizzlebeef thinking the same thing and duking it out live on Speed Gaming 2.
Fizzle, a couple questions.
Sorry, Zara, go ahead.
First of all, you resetted out of the loot early and a couple other key items. Were you confident that you would find the floater and come back to reclaim those items and reap that experience bonus?
So let me walk you through the decision on some of that stuff. Early on, I knew I wanted to avoid Earth Cave at all costs because I just don't like the place. And something in the Melmond area previewed that there was stone poison, so I really didn't want to go. So I found the crown, and it was just like, okay, it's either crown or Earth Cave. Let's do crown turn. And the second I see that it's the loot, reset out, because the last place I saved was at the dock at Elfland, because loot's not going to do me anything that early in the game, and I might get a level, but that's really not worth the run to carry back a level and a key item I don't need right now. And I know that when I get the floater, I'll be back for it. That's kind of the same thing I said when I looted Dwarf Armory. I found not much cash in the Vorpal, which Vorpal, sure, it's an endgame weapon, but I'm not promoted. I can't use it. It doesn't make my game go forward. Let's reset out.
Right. It was a play I think that benefited you more than not. And the second question was, you had an extra chat there with someone in Onrak. Can you tell us about that?
I have been shown the glory of cope strats by my good friend Falconic, in that he found a new NPC to talk to, so there's that.
The mystery revealed.
Because the Hooray Dwarf certainly wasn't doing anything for me that game.
I think that Will may have had more Hooray Dwarf checks than you did, Fizzle. That could have been the difference in the race. There were a lot. There were a lot of Hooray Dwarf checks in this seed.
You gotta keep patting that Hooray Dwarf on the head, and eventually the magic pops out, and the seed stops being bad. I mean, that's proven science.
I can say that this seed absolutely loved to troll you guys and just make you sail around and find fun items like a ruby.
How about that Titan?
That was the worst. I was happy to find a loose item. I was happy that the loose item is floater. To have the loose item end up there, because I was convinced, all right, we're going to Sarda, and Sarda will be the waterfall. And then, 2 steps short, it's just like, surprise, we're giving you floater early. It's just like, but why? Why are you being this mean to me? I don't understand.
Chad asking about Warmech. Both of you saw Warmech. Tell us about that encounter. We'll start with you, Will.
I was ambushed, and he blasted me for 400. And I didn't have life, so I still had the 2 warriors, and I had to get out of there. There was no way I could risk it whatsoever. I would have been foolish to even try anything whatsoever after he ambushed me. I would have considered it had he not, but I probably still would have ran, given that I only had the 2 warriors, and I couldn't risk it. Not against LordFizzlebeef, no.
Haha!
It was the right play for you, Fizzle.
So he opened with Rub, and I was just like, sweet, a free round of buff, this is great. And then he got Bane off before he could get any offense off the ground. And sure enough, Bane stuck to all 3 not ribbon wearers. And it was just like, nope. Well, alright, let's try swinging Mazza, see where that gets us. And then it was like 4 hits, 4 damage. Just like, nope, okay, done, we're out. We don't want to see the rest of the spell list. If there's a nuke, we're toast. And then they just kind of sat on Tiamat for like 20 minutes swinging.
Fizzle, any sign of the Power Gauntlet or Fast?
Fast was level 4.
Oops.
Or, no, sorry, level 3. One of those.
Oh yeah, I did have it. Oops. Power Gauntlet?
Nah, I never found it.
Me either. Okay.
It's amazing what you forget you have when you're in the heat of a race and you know that it's the bracket stage in the Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament.
Yeah, things are getting really intense. Things have been absolutely fantastic. I didn't need Fast anyway, because I only had 1 warrior alive who couldn't cast it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was concerned at the end there, because I saw first 5 minutes of the game, I find life 2 in the white magic shop, but I find heal 3, but I can get heal 3 after the promotion, so it's like, do I really want to dump half of my black magic just to get life 2? And I really regretted not having that life 2 when I set foot in Topher.
So, the rivalry, you guys. This is a rivalry that goes way back to the last tournament. Gouda told us the whole story about your guys' rivalry. You're up 1-0 now, Willcleosis. I want to know how both of you feel about going into this next match. We'll start with you, Will.
Fortunate. Very fortunate, and even more honored. This guy's really good. He's going to be a champion someday, and I've arrived. So I think these are very even matches. I would give the edge to LordFizzlebeef 6 out of 10 times at minimum, more than likely 7. But it's a very friendly rivalry. We are great friends. We discuss many, many things. I wouldn't do a lot of things that he does, and he certainly would not do a lot of things that I do. And I think they mesh quite well in a combative sort of stance. And it's his honor just to play Fizzlebeef and, entertain the fans because he's one heck of a guy, especially with the contributions that he does to the Final Fantasy Randomizer community. I could start naming them off and I wouldn't be able to really cover everything, and that would be disrespectful, so I won't do that. But I can't tell you how much I respect this gentleman.
Indeed, and your response, Fizzle, after being fed that humble pie?
I'm gonna go in the backyard and find some dirt and light it on fire and maybe defeat the curse.
You're certainly due for a win. So we are going to move on shortly here to closing thoughts. Go ahead, Fizzle.
But in all honesty, I I love any match that I get with Willcleosis because I know more than any other opponent, he has done the research on me, and I think there's maybe 2 people that fully understand my game in this randomizer, and I am pretty sure that Will's one of them, which makes it always a fascinating match to try and think about, to try and strategize through, because I know he's going to be doing things that I would never do, and it's impossible to try and outthink that, because even if I start to outthink that, I already know he did it for me and he planned around that. So this is going to be an uphill battle these next 2 games.
I'd like to thank Speed Gaming. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Gouda. Thank you, Czar. Both of you put on a great show. Danny3883, the great tracker. Super Luigi, the beast. I saw you as well. And echoing what Fizzlebeef said, when I go back and watch some of my matches from the past, when I started to really have some success, it started back in December. That's when I started to really gain some momentum. Lord Fizzlebeef had been watching a lot of them. And when I rewatched them, I saw him in chat, and he would call out every single thing that I was up to. I would think it, I would start to go do it, and Fizzlebeef would say, well, I think Will's gonna bring his thief back because he can't get through Waterfall, and I bet you he can get through. There was a time where I ran into some mages on my way to the drop down in the 4th floor of the ice cave, the 3 chest room. And the mages had zap and stone poison. They zapped 2 warriors. My ribbon wearer was able to survive. It was a white wizard. And they petrified my knight. Well, I kept walking, and I was going to check the mage-guarded chest. But I didn't unpetrify my knight. And what happened was, during the show, it was actually caught by the commentary and caught by the fans. Why isn't he doing this petrified knight? Well, a petrified knight can't get zapped. And he caught that. And that was the moment that I knew he knew me perfectly. So it goes both ways. I do know him quite well, I do believe so. And he knows me like the back of my hand. And that is even more part of, why these are going to be some great matches coming up. And I look forward to certainly doing it in the future, Fizzlebeef. GG, sir.
GG, dude.
GG indeed. It was a pleasurable race to watch, close the entire way. Like we said, there was only a lead of about 4 minutes at one point, and it just never faded from there. Quick programming note. We have more Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament action coming your way, folks, for the next couple days, and next couple weeks, actually, as we progress to the bracket stage. Tomorrow, we have one match currently on deck. It is Edgeworth, the champion, versus Tyrannex. They had one match today. I did not see the result of that match, so I'll have to see where that stands. But that match will be going down tomorrow. It will be on one of the Speed Gaming channels. We are not exactly certain yet. And that match will be going down at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Then on the 25th, we have Tristal MTG versus Doogie MacGyver in their first match of the best of 3. That match will be happening at 1 p.m. Eastern and 10 a.m. Pacific. Be sure to tune in for those. We're going to move on into our final thoughts here now. We'll start with our lovely Lord Fizzlebeef today. Tell us about how you feel coming into the next match and your final thoughts from the race today.
I jokingly blame Earth Cave about how it's all Earth Cave's fault. But part of the strategy is that sometimes you have to accept when there is a hole in it and that things just don't go your way. I can blame Earth Cave all I want. It is the strategy that is at fault, and I'm going to need to tweak it going into this next race. I'm not saying that means I'm just going to haul off an Earth Cave out of the gate, but I need to reconsider what's going on because I feel like I could have done this faster than I did in a lot of other places as well.
I remember Edgeworth saying once, he typed it in chat during a very tough match when Green Medusas had Death Touch. And Edgeworth said, and I quote, sometimes the game just doesn't want you to win. And sometimes you just gotta know that, echoing essentially what Lord Fizzlebeef just said. But once again, thank you to Speed Gaming, everything they've done for this entire tournament. It's been an absolute blast, and thank you to the crew, because we got the best crew in all of Randomizers, and I'll put them up against any other video game that puts on these broadcasts, and the great crew that we have is just amazing. The teamwork, the communication. I thank you all, and it's an honor to certainly be part of it.
Gouda, coming into the booth tonight, giving us this great story about Will and Lord Fizzlebeef. Tell us about your thoughts from today's race, and if we can hope to see you in the booth again soon.
Thanks, Czar. I'm hoping I can get back in here sometime soon. This is a lot of fun with you guys, and Danny3883 doing the tracking. She, like I said at the beginning, she's our MVP. She's been on so many of these races tracking, and she's just fantastic. Does an amazing job, keeps us honest, and tells us, when we mess up, and gives us some extra pointers. Will have been great mentors in this community. Anybody who wants to join, just feel free to jump right on in to our Discord with people. I mean, our veterans are absolutely amazing. It will help you with some of the finer points of the game, or even just getting started. Thanks, Speed Gaming, and thank you, Czar. I mean, it's been a great night. I'm probably going to lose my voice tomorrow. I was so excited with this match.
It was great to have you on the call, Gouda. Thank you so much. I want to thank our runners, Speed Gaming, Danny, Gouda, for the track and the help on commentary. Big shout out to our audience on YouTube. We always enjoy putting on these races. We know we have a big audience there. We're still working on some more YouTube exclusive content coming for you fine folks over there soon. Big thanks to Kirito tonight for once again stepping up to the plate for us on the restream. Kirito has been one of our mainstay restreamers. Thank you so much, Kirito, for your time. We know you do so much for Speed Gaming. And lastly, I'd like to thank all you, the viewers, for coming out and spending your time with us this evening. Be sure to catch those hype matchups that are on deck tomorrow. And for Gouda, Danny, Willcleosis, LordFizzlebeef, I am Czar. And until next time, Team Vorpal.
Team Vorpal!